Earlier, a lot of time has gone on inspiration. Now is the time for perspiration. So, we have got less time to perspire. Why less time? Because there is a lot of time left for you after this program. Therefore, less time. And that is why they say, a person who can see invisible is invincible. Means you need to have vision and you need to have inspiration, then you can do lot of things. So we have spent a lot of our activities, action plan on inspiring ourselves. That Madam was saying already you are inspired. I am very much happy to be here for the first time. Maybe because I am a follower of Adi Shankaracharya, Jagat Guru Adi Shankaracharya. My day starts with nothing other than Nirvana Shatakam and no other chance at all, to be very frank. And this is the place, a special place, because you have got Shankaracharya wants to take Saraswati from Chamundeshwari temple, Chamunda Hills. So he asked the goddess to come to his place. And there was a condition that she will be at the backside and he will be moving, and he is not supposed to look back. But then something happened at Mugambika, and the goddess stayed there only because there was an incident which took place and there was again Saraswati. But then Lord Shankara, as you know, he is very adamant about this, and he brought the Saraswati to Chotanigara. And if you see the Chotanigara temple opening timings and Mukambika timings, there is a synchronization. That exactly when to open and how to close, those things happen. But more than that, I feel there is another connection. That was Saraswati, Lord Shankara bringing Saraswati to Chotanigara. But the modern day Shankara, who is the modern day Shankara? Swami Chinmaya has brought the place of worship Saraswati here, the light and the birthplace of Lord Shankara, and this is what is Chinmaya Vishwavidyapeeth. So in the true sense, we all worshippers of Saraswati. He is at the right place, the birthplace of Shankara. And Shankara Acharya is also important because he was the one who has brought back the glory of Indian traditions, philosophical traditions. He has in him the strength to defeat everything. Everything was challenged, and he has brought back simply out of wisdom, and not out of some here and there. They say you need not glorify. On facts, he has brought back the Indian philosophical system back to the forefront, and therefore this is the right place to talk about what? Knowledge, tradition, and practices of India. And let us say this as a starting point. As I said, perspiration will start from now. So this is the starting point of the perspiration. And we have already got vision of Shankaracharya. We have got blessings from the Guruji or Swamijis here, and senior people, those who have actually worked hard to bring that in the higher education field. And as someone was saying, that it should all start from this one. You know, the BSNL punchline, you know, what is that? Or tagline? Connecting India. But that connecting India is all right. You've got communication devices, but now we are going to connect to India. This is about connecting to India. But the problem is, we have all become non-resident Indians, settled in India. So how to connect to India is a great problem. And to connect that, we have to connect certain bright dots. One bright dot I see is higher education. Second one is school education. There should be a connect between school education to higher education. Another bright spot connection should be that there are policy makers, like university people, they are policy makers. And the principals and the management teachers are practitioners.
So whenever there is a disconnect between whom? Between the policy makers and the practitioners, then there is a problem. So connecting to India needs what connection? Connection of the policy makers to the practitioners, connection from the what you call school education to higher education, and also connection from the knowledge to life. Most of the time, life is disconnected with the, sir was also talking about connection, and the things are not connected. So the basic problem is we are not connecting our knowledge, our learning, children's learning to their immediate environment. And that is a problem. And that is why we are becoming non-resident Indians. So let us start with the first connection which we can possibly do. This session is only simply about giving a brief idea about how to go about implementation of the KTPI in the schools. I'll try to find out certain thing. Is this way? The scope in existing curriculum. Michel Danian has made a oblique reference to this, that NCERT curriculum is there, NCERT textbook is there, and there are certain components available, and that has not been successful. Why it was not successful? Because we understand curriculum as examination. That's all. And we also understand curriculum as syllabus given by CBSE, displayed on our website. Some of you know, some of you don't know. Some of you may be getting from private publishers some book, that syllabus. So that's it. Textbook, some people associate curriculum with textbook. Whatever is there in the textbook, that is curriculum. Then some people say only syllabus items. So all of you, we know that curriculum is a higher sort of thing, and you have got a syllabus, you have got teacher, you have got textual content and other content, and then all of these things will connect that and to become the curriculum. So when I say there was an effort made by NCERT in the textbooks, I am very serious about this. And therefore, the role of the principal and the teacher is very important in connecting the content given in the textbook to their life. Where is the problem? Problem is when I say this is the question, and this is the question paper, and these are the questions will be asked in mathematics. So we should not get into something given in the boxes in the NCERT textbook, something other than given in that. So I'll just give you some glimpses of what is written in the NCERT textbook. Here it is. One, introduction to Euclid's geometry. Someone was saying that Euclid's geometry and all, you were asking some questions. If you would have read the NCERT textbook, you would have answered that. You see here this Sulabha Sutras. What do you call Sulabha Sutras? That mention is there. But this is simply a mention, you will say. And why to bother about that? Because there will not be any question asked in the board examination on this and all those things. Now here is the role of the teacher. What is the role of the teacher? And if you say KTPI in class 11th and elective will not happen of its own. Children should be molded and there should be a directions given to the students so that they will also feel up taking up that course. And if you are already disconnected with the things and you are not connecting to the day-to-day classroom activities in the schools at the lower level, there is no point that all of a sudden in class 11 that child will come and say, now I will go and opt for KTPI. That will never happen. So it has to start from the lowermost class, and then how we are connecting. There are discussions on Vedic mathematics, and some of you have referred about the Sanskrit languages, and where is sir is there, talk about languages and all, so Sanskrit language and other things. So instead of directly introducing a course like KTPI as elective at class 11th, there should be an atmosphere created by the school and the students and even the teachers so that people will feel proud of it and get into that. Swamiji has told in the morning that if you want to be a great patriot, you need to have love and respect. We all love our traditions. The problem is there is slight lackage of respect about knowledge or traditional knowledge. Why there is no, even the youngsters, they don't value much. They love their traditions, but they don't value and they don't respect. How can we bring in respect? That's what I always say. We should be like a Hamsa. And not like a fish in water, we are unable to differentiate the water and the milk. But if you are a hamsa, what will do? You will only pick the milk. So your role, if you are able to do that as a teacher, you are able to serve the right kind of ideas from our Indian traditions, knowledge and tradition, which is 101% secular in that sense. It is not a religious connotation, is not there. What is the religious connotation in metallurgical ideas or even geometric figures? Is there a religion connected to that? So are you able to take out those things, and as a Hamsa, as a swan, are you able to give that? So I am not a Sanskrit scholar, but I thought I'll just read out what was written in a Subhashidam. It is connected to that. Matsya deyo na jananti Nirakshira Vivejanam Prasiddhireva Hamsasya Yashaha Punyaravapade. Means what? The Matsya is, or the other aquatic animals are not aware of this, but you need to be a Hamsa to do that. So my thing, your role is, as Indian traditional knowledge and all, your role is very clear. So let us say that you are able to take out the best out of the existing wisdoms, and you should be able to bring the children to that level so that they are ready for learning. Readiness to learning in educational parlance also, the most important thing is making the learner ready for learning. Are we ready to, are we taking an effort to make the learner to be ready for learning of KTPI? That is important. So I think you have got some inputs given by NCERT, even in geometry, mathematics. I'm only referring to mathematics and science because in languages you have got a lot of scope. Sanskrit, English, Hindi, you have got a lot of scope. And even social sciences like history and all, you have got plenty of scope in connecting to the Indian knowledge tradition at lower classes. So I'm talking about how to connect to the KTPI at the lower classes. You see atoms and molecules, that question was asked, a wrong answer given, but then that is here. Ancient, you are talking about Kanada. Then, who else is there? Another Indian philosopher. Who is that? So you have got this content in the NCERT textbook, but we are not bothered. We are only interested in some guidebooks given where there are 10 questions given. And we have to go for a pre-board examination where these questions are asked, and they will be a ratta master in Hindi, they say, so that they will get good score in the school, and you have got 100% result, and we are very good with that. Because our aim is not become a guru, but an upadhyaya, or maybe the most mahopadhyaya. That is our role. And you have to be termed as a Mahavadhyaya, then you will get National Teacher Award from CBSE. All right. So, Mahapadhyaya. So, atoms and molecules in class 9 science, I am talking about class 9th, 10th, possibly you may be worried because of the board examination, but 9th. So, this is about, I am asking you about preparing the students, the learner for learning. So if you create an atmosphere, someone asked, why don't we start right now, right away in this session only the KTPI? I'm not only talking about that. There is any change. Maybe we are going back to our roots, and that is a change we are considering because, as I said, we are practicing non-resident Indians. So we want to become a resident Indian somehow, and therefore we are trying efforts to do that. Anyway, that we are doing. Now here it is. You just see KTPI as an elective, how to proceed. Now we can think of that. Once you are ready, your vision is there, clear-cut vision is there, your inspiration is there. You are ready to bring the learner to that level and saying that there is some value, there is some respect to the knowledge, tradition, practice of our country, our nation. Our nation is, as great speakers already told, our nation's ideas and ideologies are not exclusive. They are all inclusive sort of thing. We are only talking about Vasudeva Kudumbakam, and our ideals are the highest of all ideals. If you go to Vedanta and Advaita, no religion can challenge that. No religion will conflict with that. It is all ours, and we need to have that. And we need to be proud of that. We have evolved such ideas and ideals. That is important. So my point is KTPI as an elective, how to proceed. So why? The first thing again I said, only as sir was talking about, be the change you want to. So we need to first of all be convinced that I need to introduce KTPI in the school. This can happen as a part of the vision of the school, as madam was also rightly pointing out, now almost done, because Chinmaya schools are there. Amruta Vidyalayam is there, Bhavans are there. Any other group of institutions? You've got, maybe they have their core value in their institutional value, institutional vision. You've got, in some cases, you've got other schools are there, that's good. But majority of the schools as a part of the institutional vision that is inherent, as a part of the institutional vision. So you cannot isolate yourself from that vision. And if you are doing that, then you are not part of the school in the right sense. So it is a part of your school's vision, your institutional vision. So you cannot say that you are not a part of that. That is one thing. Better connection with other subject and immediate environment, as I said. Sir was referring about compartmentalization of the subjects. There is no compartmentalization, as we all know. But the problem is, we tend to compartmentalize. We need to have a postgraduate in physics and postgraduate in economics and mathematics and all those things. And we want to learn things in compartmentalized ways. And then artificially we have to inject the interdisciplinary approach and all those things. But now the problem with the KTPI is it is not an interdisciplinary subject. It is all encompassing subject. KTPI has a single subject with lot of content. Then how to go about that? These are the concerns, right? So better connection with other subjects. Learning this subject will get a better understanding, better connection to the day-to-day life, our own culture and all those things. Individual mission. Why I'm saying individual mission? As a principle, if you are convinced and you think that this is something to be done, policy makers, or for that matter, government and all, has got limited role to play. We at the board level, of course, don't quote anywhere. I'm only saying this way. At the boards level, at the Central Board of Secondary Education level, we do make policies. And if you find that none of the schools are offering and no students are taking it, what is the decision taken? You know, last year, around 15-20 electives were removed because we were having only 15-20 students in that subject. Less than 500 students, those who have enrolled in his subjects, were all removed, except KTPI, because we value the subject. Right? You see, what is the point in running a course of 5 students enrolled in the country, where we have got 20-25,000 schools and lakhs of children appearing, and you have got only, I'm talking about administrative aspects that you need to know. You can come up and you can rejuvenize the entire thing. When I say, if you want to have set a question paper, then you have to go to implement that. Of course, we all are idealistic, idealism and all part of there. But at practical level, at government level, things are happening at different levels. So what even the Michelle Daniel and even Vishwavidyapeeth, the other day, madam met me and said, this is our mission, it's our vision. So we'll ensure that this happens. Because they say they want to create a change. In reverse, of course, we are talking about our tradition means in that sense. But there is a passion and vision also. So that will happen. So individual mission. Is that a part of your individual mission that you are going to, my time up? No, individual mission. And then you have to think. I'm just giving you some hints in administrative terms. If it is a part of individual mission, you can start with as an additional subject. You already got 5 subjects in class 11th and 12th mandatory subjects. So you can think starting this as an additional subject, because that will be helpful in what you call convincing the parents and student community also. You've got already main subjects running in your school. There are some students, those who are interested to do something in higher classes. For example, you've got a legal studies subject is there in physics. In CBSE. Legal studies subject, why? Some of them may offer for legal studies. Why? Because they want to be a lawyer, and they may not get any benefit for admission in the higher institutions, but that information or that whatever they have learned from legal studies will be helpful to become a very good lawyer, or maybe to go ahead with that study. So if you can add this as an additional subject, that will be beneficial to the students, those who are actually interested in. Then replacement of the subject in case of failure. I'm talking about very practical terms. We talk about practicality is very important. In case this additional 6th additional subject, a student is 6th additional subject you have taken as KTPI, and in case the student is failing in mathematics, then even otherwise that student will be declared as pass, because there is a condition that out of the 4 suppose options are there, 1 you are failing, 3 will be, whichever pass will be considered, and the student will be declared as pass. Now, Why this is being told? Because you see the scheme of studies in CBSE. In class 11th and 12th, you need to have 2 languages compulsorily, except for differently abled children. There are some concessions for learning languages. Otherwise, you can select any 2 languages. Only one condition is that out of these 2 languages, one must be English or Hindi. And if you have got English, you can select as another one Hindi or any other language. This is there on our website, you can download. Then you can take any other languages. But if you have selected that English, for example, subject is also offered in English elective, NCERT, English elective, CBSE and all. Out of the languages, one shall be English or Hindi. Both English and Hindi can also be offered simultaneously. The languages may be offered either at core or elective level. The same language, however, cannot be offered both at the core level and elective level. You cannot have both English core and elective. Then you have got a candidate has the freedom to offer in lieu of one of the 2 languages above any other elective subjects provided under 3 below. So here it is. Mathematics, physics, and you see the knowledge, tradition, practices of India. So this is the basic structure. Out of that 3 plus 2 you can have. But then it is very difficult to convince that all the students must go for knowledge, tradition, practice of India, because you need to know the reality. We will not go by some idealistic situations and all of the people should behave like what we are thinking and all. That will never happen. So let us be practical on that. And these general studies, work experience, physical and health education for everyone, right? And this general studies also, there is a lot of scope for knowledge, tradition, practice of India. But no one is bothered. As a head of the institution, I am not bothered. And my teachers are also not bothered. General studies is an area where you can actually inject all those things at the right place and right positions. With some effort should be taken by you. That is the only thing. Now you see, additional subject. This is the 6th subject. You have got 2 plus 3, 5 subject. Now you can have a 6th as an additional subject where you can actually go for this. And how to go about this? That you need to have some students for this. As I said, you should make the learner ready for this. And you should also make the parents ready for this. And you have got many ideas that you have received right from morning to that 3:30, that how to convince the parents and other. Okay, time. Timekeeper is there. So we have got the 2 minutes more for me. All right. So here it is. What I am saying is that this is what is the content. We have got knowledge is Michelle Daniel G was saying that there is content issues. I am giving you the link, cbseacademic.nic.in, under the link curriculum. You can download the curriculum. In that subject is available. These are, someone was asking about the question paper and all. You need to know that examination is very simple. Not like, you may be wondering that why one must ask difficult metallurgical questions and all in the paper. That is not done. So some passage is given. The format of the paper is more or less thinking whether you are able to understand the thing and not fully based on knowledge. Please note that. And there was a reference to research-based project portfolio assessment and all. So we have got, you need to know that if you are worried about the content and how to go about that, remember that the content is important, but more than that, it's the overall thinking that we are looking into. Right? So, and again, 30 marks research-based project portfolio assessment, as Michelle G has already told. It is better to connect to the immediate environment. You've got temples and other things related to that project. Some action research can be taken or some work can be taken up. Now you see, this is same for class 12. Now we have reading skills, analytical skills, thinking skills, research-based project, portfolio assessment, 20 plus 10, 30 marks you have got. Now, these are the things, someone was saying it is in alphabetical order. So, A, C, I, L, M. I don't know whether this is alphabetical or otherwise. But then, as I told you, a teacher's role is greater than syllabus items. As I told you, curriculum is more than a syllabus item. Teacher is there, textbook. Teacher is the most important thing. Textbook as something supporting material. You've got a syllabus items. Then why you are there as a teacher? That is very important. So syllabus items, curriculum as a whole, you need to understand what is curriculum. But our role is there to improve the textbook. there are so much concern. Some reference were given as this is not being promoted and all. But then there are issues, some issues related to the content, as Sarah has also pointed out. There are certain issues related to the content. There need to be some fine-tuning of the content, reorganization of the content. There are issues of copyrights. There are issues of credibility of the information, references, and all those things are there. This will happen. It is not that a course is designed and once it go, the content is there. We have got very forward-looking. CBSE is one of the most forward-looking boards in the country. We had a progressive curriculum. What we used to do, we used to revise every time the components of the syllabus items, and even the textbooks used to be revised on a regular basis. But then there should be takers. That is what I am saying. And the administrative issues will always come. So class 11th is this one. And as I said, class 12th. These are things that we already know. As I said, content availability on this, open publications, ebook and support material is the link on the cbseacademic.nic.in, and there you will find cbseacademic.publication.sqps.html. All entire content of this in soft copy is available. Now, question paper, someone was referring what is the question paper and what should. As I told you, this is not purely a knowledge base, though it is written knowledge, traditional practice of India, but the question paper will not be assessing pure knowledge, rather the application, your analytical skills and thinking skills and all will be more, reading skills and all those things will be focused. So that need not be worried about whether factual things decide to remember and all so many things are there. That need not be worried. These sample papers are also available. I've got something on my pen drive. If anyone wants that, you can either mail entire syllabus, content in soft copy, question papers, earlier circulars which Daniel, what is his name? Michel Daniel was referring. Everything is there. I have already saved here. You can get that, and maybe they can be mailed to all the participants. So that is not a problem. So how to apply? I'll quickly go for, with the due respect to your timings, only 2 minutes more I'll take. That this is the affiliation site, all of you know how to go for the additional subject. All the affiliated schools can apply for additional subject, right? Now already affiliated schools can apply for additional subject. Last date for submission, as madam rightly pointed out, 30th June. So if you are applying by this 30th June, next year, next academic session, you can start. Some of you are saying what can be done if you want to jump into this KTPI and all. As I told you, preparation of the learner for learning and preparation of the parents for sending the learner for learning is also important. Without that, if you start, the success will not come. It is as simple as it is. So we have got, don't get into, I am saying that we will start now. We are very ambitious and get into that. Instead of that, as I told you how to integrate KTPI in the classes up to class 10th, let the learner be ready for learning KTPI in class 11. The child should come and tell that I want to take up this subject as an additional subject in class 11. If you are able to do that, then that will be your success, that I'm saying. So here, last date is over. This is the, not over, it is already on now. Online application started now. It will be there. It is already there, available on the website right now on cbseaff.nic.in. Then fees, very nominal fees. We are not a business entity as such. You can just see science subject, we charges only rupees 10,000. This is also revised this year. Earlier this was 3,000 and 2,000 rupees. Now we are not talking about the inflation and all, but here you see other subject, rupees 5,000 is the only expenses. Now what are the things required? You should be able to convey the board that you have got some faculty. Now the problem with the KTPI is well known to everyone. This is not a subject which can be taught by a single teacher, but you need to have a postgraduate with B.Ed dedicated for this subject in your role. That is an important thing. How you are actually transacting the curriculum, that is up to you. That freedom is there. But that information may be asked by the board. And before start of the next session, the communication will come for you. This is, I think, your time exactly, she said. I am thanking you mainly because most of you are from CBSE affiliated schools, and I am into training. Today only 10 training sessions are happening at different parts of Kerala and Tamil Nadu. We will meet sometime as a part of our own training. And from the board sides, don't worry about present dispensation or earlier dispensation of anything. We have introduced the courses, means we are very much convinced about the course. But remember that if there are no takers, then there are administrative issues. and there are other issues because of which certain courses will always be withdrawn. We don't want, for the namesake, some subject is there in existence in the board. That you remember. And this subject has not been withdrawn. This is continuing, and there is a lot of work required in revision of the content, realignment of the content, even the revision of syllabus items and all. That will happen with the feedback. Every year, curriculum committee is there. Our course committee members are there. They sit together. They re-look into the syllabus, and it is a frequent, or it's a continuous process. As I said, you are progressive. We are progressive. As our Honorable Vice Chancellor says, it is very sad to say that we have to be forceful and take a lot of efforts to be progressive and get into our own roots and our own connections. Thank you. Thank you so much for giving me 5 additional minutes. Thank you so much.
Yes. Very sure. Yeah. Hariom sir. For 11th and 12th standard, we have a general studies. That's a graded subject. So why not we have this KTPI also like a grading subject and make it compulsory for all the students for a few years, and then once students they started liking the subject, then we can make it as a board paper.
So you are going for a 5-year plan or a 25-year? Anyway, my point is very simple. I remember that my quantum physics professor used to say, my lectures are not compulsory but necessary. But when you make anything compulsory, actually nothing happens. Physical and health education, what is the status in your school? You are all principals here. What is the status of physical and health education, art education, and work education in your school? Where it is mandated, it is a graded subject, and how much you are doing, you can re-look into that. This is a very serious business. KTPI is not a light business. I am talking about, we are talking about some knowledge, tradition, practice of India is not a light business. As I said, we can always have programs which will promote and support. If you know, there is a wonderful program by CBSE, that is Heritage India Quiz, which happens every year. The content is available, loaded on the website. Last time, whatever quizzes are there, sir was asking so many quizzes. You go to our website and see Heritage India Quiz content, entire content. It is a wonderful competition, and you must be knowing that some TV channels also support that venture, and that is one of the programs you have got. There are multiple programs. Even you have got Awakening Citizen,
Awakening Indians to India
program with the connection with the Ramakrishna Mission and all. There are so many programs happening. Don't contain the things to the syllabus and to the examination. If you fix on that, then there is a problem. And as far as KTPI as a specialized subject is concerned, we need to give due importance as a specialized subject and not as a graded subject. But general studies, you have got a lot of scope for introduction of the content, I am saying.